Looking back is looking forward. I repeat, looking back is looking forward. We are more like a balloon, right? Very light, open, and not pressured at all. Life seems to be very simple until it isn't. Every day gives us something that we carry. A conversation that didn't go well, a task that needs to be completed, a mistake that is bringing us down, a gift that we carry in our own heart. We don't necessarily pause, we don't necessarily think back, but then we keep carrying it, right? So it keeps getting added up. Everything seems fine, except that we keep adding more pressure. With more pressure, with more things to remember, life seems to be very fine, right? Until it gets filled up so much that we are not able to handle the pressure anymore. I know we're all expecting that pressure to build up, right? I know, I can sense that pressure. That's the amount of pressure we keep carrying in our mind. Right? The pressure keeps adding up, keeps adding up. We don't know when it will burst, but it still keeps adding up. And then it bursts, right? This is exactly what happens with our life when we keep moving on, without looking back, without reflecting on what is happening. We keep adding up to the pressure, and one day we burst. Now this is what is reflection, right? We first have the awareness of what is happening, and then we gain insights of how it happened, how we can process all of this, and then it flows into action. Now what reflection does is, it doesn't necessarily only reduce the pressure, but it gives clarity to our thoughts and gives direction to our decision. And today, for you all to kickstart this journey of reflection, I'm going to be taking you through some 15 words that I want you all to remember. All these words that start with R, that will help you with your reflection process. Now the first one that we'll have to do is recall. Now recall is basically remembering what has happened, except that with just a little bit of difference, we keep our emotions away. We keep our feelings away, and then we look back and see what happened. Now when we look at it honestly, we're able to understand what happened and why it happened. And now that, when we recall, it will help us realize, oh, this is what happened. This is why I reacted that way. So this is what is bothering me. So we are able to realize what is happening and what is the problem. And when you realize, you have to move to the next word, which is revisit. Now you'll ask me, what is the difference between revisit and recall? Isn't it the same? But now you're going back, looking at what happened, except that with more of emotional maturity, because you've had some realization happening, right? So you go back and you revisit all that has happened, you process things, you see how everything happened, and when you revisit, you recognize, was there a pattern? No, did something always affect me? You're probably dodging an argument always. You'll be able to identify that. There's probably something that triggers you. You'll be able to identify that when you are able to recognize what has happened. Now that you've recognized, it's time to review. Sit down. What did I do? How did I react? Is there something I shouldn't have done there that I ended up doing? Right? You kind of review whatever you have done and you kind of process what has happened. And after you review, you rethink. Because at this point of time, when you have reviewed everything, your brain has gone into the overthinking mode. Oh my God, I did what I was not supposed to have done. Now this is when you pause and you rethink. Look at it from a different perspective, right? What did this teach me? What did I learn from this? Instead of penalizing yourself for what you have done. So this is when you rethink. And when you rethink, you would be able to reframe. The next time when I do this, I'm going to reframe myself. This is how I'm going to present myself. This is how my perspective is going to be. You are going to reframe your perspective. And that will put a lot of clarity in your thoughts. Right? And right after you reframe, this is one of the most important part of reflection. Release. Release the emotions that you don't want to carry forward in your life to your tomorrow. Release the guilt. Release the anger you have on someone. Release all the negative emotions and the negative energy that you have over someone, and let go all of those emotions, because the next day you want to start fresh. Yes? So you release all the emotions that you don't want to carry forward. After you release, it's very important for you to remember, you cannot just release everything. There was a lot of learning that happened. You gained a lot of wisdom, you gained a lot of knowledge. Now those are things that you want to retain, hold on to as you move forward, because that is what is going to make you a better person tomorrow. So retain all the knowledge, wisdom you gained through that experience and move forward. And once you retain, refine yourself. Make yourself into a better person. You're not the same person you were yesterday, which means you have to be a better person than you are today. So you have to refine yourself, make yourself a better person, not by any external force, but by only looking at yourself through this whole process of reflection. You are doing this to yourself. That's magic. And then, this is the magical button, reset. Do not carry your past with you to the next day. Click on that reset button. Don't feel that guilt is going to hold you down. What you did in the past is not going to define you for who you are in the future. So click on that reset button and become that better person. And once you reset, now you've done so much of thinking, right? A lot of thinking. It's very possible that your focus would be completely on what happened yesterday, what happened at that point of time. And that's when it's very important for you to move that focus to where you are right now. Focus on your present. Look at what is happening currently and how you are going to make your tomorrow a better day than what today is. And once you refocus, reinvent. Reinvent yourself as a person, reinvent your perspective, reinvent your side of the story, reinvent everything that has got to do with yourself. Rewrite your story. The story is yours, the pen is yours, and if you want to become a better person through this self-reflection journey, then you have to rewrite your own story. And last, but definitely not the least, rise. Rise with clarity, rise with focus, and rise with reflection. Now, I've taken you through these 15 words that you have to remember that will make you into a person who is reflective. But now you'll ask me this question. You've given me all these words, but then how do I reflect? What do I do to reflect? Now I'm going to tell you a few ways that you can carry forward in your life that will help you to reflect. The first one, my very favorite, journaling. Take a pen, take a paper, put down your thoughts. It doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to be beautiful, fluent words, but then it has to be honest. It has to come from your heart. Take a pen, take a paper, no need of dear diary, but write down your thoughts, because that will really help you to put your thoughts to clarity. Now if you tell me that you're not a pen and paper person, then your recorder or your mobile phone comes to your rescue. You can do a voice note, a reflection by the end of the day to reflect on what happened. Like say this happened in my day and so is what is it. Right? You can do this to make your life into a better reflective journey. Now, you're not a person who is good with words. Now what do I do? Take these reflection walks. 10-15 minute walk, except that please do not take your mobile phone or your music device with you, because then the reflection walk will become a music walk or a social media walk. So refrain from all the distractions. Take a walk for 10 minutes. That's walking with your own company. You will be able to process your thoughts and you will be able to reflect on your journey as such. Or if you're not someone who can write a lot of words, you can think a lot of words, just do one word review of the day. Today was so and so because of so and so. As simple as that. A few days it'll be just empty, just blunt, but as you move further, it'll carry emotions, it'll carry the summary of your day that when you look back, you'll see how greatly you have progressed. Last but definitely again not the least, find someone who will listen to you. No judgments, no advice, who will just listen to you for what you've got to say. Someone who you really trust. And FYI, if somebody else wants you to be that person as well, please be willing and ready to listen without any judgment or without jumping to conclusion or advice. Find this person who will listen to you, and they will be able to give you a very clear picture of how you can progress in your life. Now, as I told you all, knowing these words, practicing all of this, knowing is different. Knowing is very easy, but practicing it is where the challenge comes through. So please make sure that when life gets so stuffy, when there's a lot of pressure, you sit down and you reflect. Now let me tell you what. Life is more like a balloon, right? What happens is, we go through stuff, life keeps giving us pressure. Let me tell you, with reflection, it doesn't mean life doesn't give you pressure. Life gives you the pressure, the usual pressure. A talk, a conversation that did not go the way you wanted. A friend who did not listen to you. A deadline that is very close by. But this time, you're going to pause and see what is happening. What is the pattern? Right? You're going to make your friend listen to you. Make your friend understand. You're going to work for your deadline. You're releasing the pressure. Right? And then life gives more pressure. With every day's life, we get more pressure. The pressure adds up. But then now you're sitting down, you're writing down what's pulling you down, you're thinking back and you're seeing how you can fix it. You release the pressure a little bit. Like still, it's not going to be an easy walk, is it? It's going to throw you frustration here. A little bit of disappointment from somewhere. Except that, now I'm not going to be carried away by my feelings or my emotions. I'm going to sit down and reflect a little bit. Life keeps throwing a lot of unexpected events in front of me. I'm not going to be thrown off by surprise. I'm going to sit down and see what I can do at my best. And when I do that, life is not going to be an outburst anymore. Now, it's still going to be a journey of ups and downs, except that life will not touch its bursting moment. And that's when we all end up happy. So the next time, when you feel like you're almost there to burst out, don't. Just sit down and release the pressure, because that's all it takes for life to be smooth and wonderful. Thank you so much.